You know, I've been thinking a lot about how people who speak English like native speakers don't always use very difficult or fancy words, but instead they use simple, everyday English words very naturally and confidently in their daily conversations, and that really makes a huge difference.
You're absolutely right, and that's something many learners don't realize, because speaking like a native is not about memorizing big vocabulary from books, but about knowing common words like actually, basically, kind of, pretty, and stuff, and using them smoothly in real life situations.
Exactly. For example, when native speakers want to explain something clearly, they often say, basically, or actually, at the beginning of a sentence, and it helps them sound more relaxed and natural instead of sounding too formal or textbook-like.
Yes, and words like pretty are also very interesting because natives use them to mean very or quite, like when they say, I'm pretty tired today, instead of saying, I am extremely exhausted, which sounds correct but not very natural in daily speech.
I've also noticed that native speakers use phrases like, you know, I mean, and sort of, while talking, not because they are confused, but because it gives them time to think and makes the conversation flow more naturally and comfortably.
That's true, and another very important everyday word is stuff, because instead of listing many things, natives simply say, I have a lot of stuff to do, which sounds friendly and casual, and it's used all the time in daily conversations.
One word I really like is hang out, because native speakers use it instead of saying spend time together, and it sounds much more natural when you say, do you want to hang out this evening?
Absolutely, and along with that, words like grab, pick up, and drop by are also very common because natives often say, let's grab some food, or I'll drop by your place later, instead of using more formal expressions.
I also feel that using simple reaction words like awesome, cool, nice, and sounds good really helps in sounding natural, because native speakers often use these words to show agreement or interest in a very easy and friendly way.
Yes, and don't forget words like okay, fine, and sure, because these are extremely powerful everyday words, and natives use them constantly to agree, confirm, or accept something without making the conversation complicated.
Another thing I've learned is that natives often shorten their sentences and say things like, no worries, my bad, or that's fine, which makes them sound polite and relaxed at the same time.
That's a great point, because learners often say very long and formal apologies, but native speakers usually keep it simple by saying, sorry about that, or my bad, which feels more natural and friendly.
I also noticed that words like guess, feel, and think are used a lot, such as, I guess it's going to rain, or I feel tired today, because natives often speak based on feelings and opinions rather than perfect grammar.
Exactly, and that's why everyday English words are so important, because they help you express yourself easily without overthinking grammar rules, and that confidence is what really makes someone sound like a native speaker.
So, in my opinion, if someone wants to speak like a native, they should focus less on memorizing difficult vocabulary and more on listening to real conversations and practicing these simple, everyday English words again and again.
I completely agree with you, because when you master these common words and phrases and use them naturally in daily conversations, your English automatically becomes smoother, more confident, and much closer to how native speakers actually talk.
Thank you for watching the video.